Many years ago, in a small village, an unusual event occurred. The village was called Nilpur, known for its peaceful environment in lush green forests. However, one day something happened in the dark corners of the forest that changed the lives of the villagers forever. Arnab was the only educated young man in Nilpur. The villagers knew him well because he loved listening to their stories. One day, Arnab decided to venture deep into the forest for some research, as there had been rumors of strange occurrences happening there. For several days, villagers had been hearing bizarre noises at night. Some said it sounded like eerie screams, while others claimed it was a growl from the forest. That evening, Arnab set off toward the forest with a small torch, some water, and a notebook to document his findings. As night fell, he entered the dense darkness of the woods. Initially, everything seemed calm, but as he ventured deeper, an unsettling feeling began to grip him. The trees grew denser, and the wind started to howl more violently. Suddenly, Arnab heard an odd sound. It wasn't an animal's noise, but something more human-like, though distorted. He froze, and a suspicion began to form in his mind. Was this forest truly ordinary, or was something strange happening here? Arnab continued his path, but the sound grew louder and closer. He moved forward, and in front of him, a mysterious girl in a white sari appeared. Her face was hidden in the darkness, but Arnab could clearly see her long white hair. The girl stood silently for a moment, then said, "Don't follow me. You don't know where you're headed." Though terrified, Arnab's curiosity pushed him to ask another question. "Who are you? Why is this forest so strange?" The girl paused before answering. "This forest is my home. I know everything that happens here. But if you don't leave now, I'll make sure you never leave." Her words filled Arnab with even more fear, but he refused to turn back. A moment later, the girl let out an eerie laugh, and it grew louder. Suddenly, all the branches of the trees around him started to shake, as if someone was shaking them violently. Arnab screamed and tried to run back, but his feet seemed to be stuck to the ground, and he couldn't move. By then, the girl's form began to change rapidly. She morphed into a terrifying figure, a large dark skeleton with blood-red eyes. Arnab realized that what stood before him was no human, but a forest spirit seeking its next victim. Summoning all his strength, Arnab began to run, but he knew his chances of escaping were slim. At one point, he stumbled beneath a large tree and tried to catch his breath. But just then, a shadow loomed in front of him. The girl, now fully transformed with skeletal hands, was slowly approaching. "You're about to be my next victim, Arnab." When Arnab realized his life was about to end, he tore a page from his notebook and began writing. "This forest spirit, this curse, I will warn the next generation." He looked up at the girl one last time, and in an instant, the entire forest became silent. That night, Arnab vanished without a trace, and the villagers soon heard the heartbreaking news of one of their own going missing. Many years later, a student in the village found Arnab's old notebook. As he began reading it, he discovered something strange. There was a mysterious power in Arnab's final words. The notebook read, "This forest spirit, this haunting call, still seeks its prey. So anyone who dares enter the depths of this forest must know, returning is impossible." And so the village of Nilpur and its surrounding forest transformed into a mysterious and terrifying place, where at night an eerie call could be heard. Those who heard it knew that another new victim, like Arnab, was about to be claimed.